Hello, hello. Welcome to this week's Black Belt Newscast. It is April 11th, 2025, and we are here for our Black Belt Newscast as we do on Fridays. I'm Cindy, publisher.
I'm Todd Prater, writer.
Yay! I always like to start out our newscast by saying that all of our stories come from blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. And you can go see more about these stories at the website. You can also send us your news, because we can't be everywhere all the time, to news@blackbeltnewsnetwork.com if you've got something you want us to cover, or if it's something you have covered and got pictures and video, send it to us. We can run the video here on our newscast and also on our reels and social media. And we can share what you have going on in the Black Belt. And we love doing that. We also have a daily newsletter that comes out at 3 o'clock every day. You can sign up at blackbeltnewsnetwork.com and it'll ask you within the first 3 seconds. And it is free. All of our content is free. We do not ask you to pay at any point. There is no paywall. But when you subscribe to the newsletter, it'll come into your email box at 3 o'clock, and you can just click on the headlines and find out what has happened for the day. And that will keep you informed about what's going on in the Black Belt. You can also follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. That is another place that we are putting out all of our news for Selma Sun and for Black Belt News Network. So go follow us at both locations. All right. It's been a newsy week, so let's get started with an event that Todd got to cover on a beautiful spring day. Selma, the city of Selma, reopened their renovated track. Tell us about the event.
Well, yesterday it was actually held a ribbon cutting ceremony for the Selma track at Memorial Stadium, and you can see the track there. They have completely renovated it. They actually went down below the surface and cut up the old surface and put down new. That was dignitaries. The track team itself was there because they had a track meet later the afternoon. There's Danielle Wooten giving the microphone to Mayor Perkins, who spoke about. He actually talked a little bit about when he was a track member there. He was on the track team. Senator Robert Stewart and many other different dignitaries spoke. They had a special little presentation for the coach who was the original coach back when Perkins was running there, and that is Houston. I don't have my note in front of me. He was the coach. I'm sorry?
Houston Young.
Young, that's it, right. Houston Young, who was the track coach in 1971 and was the track coach for Perkins, Mayor Perkins. Of course, they did the ribbon cutting. And then Mayor Perkins actually took some pictures and some video with the current track team. But Coach Young talked about how much he has enjoyed being a coach there and how much he enjoyed helping. He was instrumental in helping get this track redone. He's been helping out, so he's still involved. The city, there've been a number of people. Robert Stewart, our senator, did a lot to get funding for this, and the mayor said there's still about $3 million worth of renovations that have to be done. There's leaking, there's problems on the infrastructure, the building itself, and he said that they're going to do it right. It's going to take a little while, but they're going to do it right. Because he said we got $1 million track, so we don't need to have $3 million worth of work that needs to be done. So they're in the process of looking for the money and getting the rest of it done. So it'll be a great facility once it's finished. It's always been a good facility, and schools from all over. Morgan used it, Keith used it, all the high schools have used it. Matter of fact, Keith High School coach and Southside High School coach said that they were really excited that the new track is there because they're going to continue and now be able to come and use it because they don't have track facilities at the school.
Right.
So this is going to be a great thing for the whole county, let alone just for the city of Selma.
Yeah, and it's been a long process. That the city schools in 23 after so actually Memorial Stadium took on a big hit and with Hurricane Zeta in
Right.
2020 and then got hit again by the tornado in January 2023. And the city schools were actually worked up about how long it was taking to get the renovations done in order to use the stadium for not only track but also for their football program. So the schools had actually talked and asked the city to turn over Memorial Stadium and the track to the city schools and let them do it so that they could ensure that they were going to be able to play there. But as you can see, the city made it work. Robert Stewart actually secured like $750,000
Right.
for to be able to do these renovations, which if it was $1 million, there's still others funding in there that they had to do to reach that. But I know that's always the hardest part. We've been watching them renovate over there. Glad to see it done. And really, regional track meets can host there. And that's a great economic driver.
And that's one of the things that the mayor, Judge Nunn was there, Judge Jimmy Nunn was there. And so he mentioned that it's not just the city, the county, or, the state. It's all the above, plus the general public working together to come up with the money and get the work done so that our kids have a really good place. And it as Senator Stewart said, it goes to the quality of life. It helps the whole attitude is more positive when the quality of life things like a good track are there and they can use it. So the more the renovations in the future are only going to be positive for the region as a whole. So I'm looking forward to it.
Great. Glad to hear it. So Demopolis has a new turn of events with the healthcare high school. They are be able to open in fall of 25. So what's the plan?
Well, according to the interim president of the Alabama Healthcare High School Foundation, Rob Pearson, they have looked at a few different places, but they're going to stick with their original plan to use the campus or use facilities at the campus of the University of West Alabama. Now, they had actually looked at Judson College in Marion and some other places, but they said that their original plan, the folks at UWA are working real hard with them to not only get the facilities ready, but to do some special things. He says he's not going to elaborate quite yet until everything is a little more in concrete. But he says that the building itself, the dedicated building there in Demopolis, will be on the site where that building is, they'll start construction most likely late summer. They're in the design phase right now. He actually went to the and talked to the committee, the Ways and Means Committee yesterday, and he said that he had some renderings and some drawings of the architectural plans that are not quite ready to be released, but they will soon. So they're in a very early design stage, but they're working towards it. The curriculum is under development right now, and they're really working hard to get that developed and done so that they can start school in 2026 and start a year before the building itself is completed, because it'll take at least 2 years for the building to be completely finished for them to move into it. They have hired a president for the school, and he will start this May 1st, and his name is Dr. Jimmy Martin. So they're really moving along well with as far as getting the organization together. He said, I asked him if it was in an early stage. He said, we're not in a really early stage, but they're well along the way. So it's all coming together. It's just going to take a little more time. And again, they'll be able to start school a year before the building because they're going to use UWA.
Yeah, and it's an interesting school concept. It is like the fine arts school. It is like the math science school. So it is a residential school where they will be living as students from anywhere in Alabama. And it is a state school, because that's why you saw the video of Kay Ivey, the governor, signing the bill to bring it here. So this is a really exciting move. And the idea being that we get students trained to be healthcare professionals that might actually stay in the rural areas like the Black Belt and work here where we have such a need for employees. So it's exciting.
That's exactly what he said. One of the main points is to address the lack of healthcare workers in rural areas. So like you say, not just exciting, but it's very positive.
So spring has been kind of brutal to us lately.
Boy, how's that?
Tornadoes like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I know 3 or 4 weeks ago, we had a tornado on the 15th of March that hit Plantersville and did not only major damage, but killed 3 people. Now we have on Sunday, April 6th, we had 2 tornadoes that have been confirmed that hit Wilcox County. One was hit that this one hit Sardis in Dallas County, and that's up from the Sardis one. Now the one in Wilcox, it was Pine Hill, and it hit the Mike's Country Kitchen area and some homes around that. So it's been a cleanup week for 2 different areas. So there's Mike's Country Kitchen that had the roof peeled off, and they are closed until they can get that figured out. And fixed, and it's really been an active, severe storm season for us, and so far, and it's early. It's still only
we still have
7th of April.
A few weeks to go. So the thing about Alabama is tornadoes can outbreak any time of the year, but this is the most likely time, and we still have a few weeks of the season left, so we're not out of the woods completely yet.
Well, and speaking of tornadoes, Selma got hit by the EF2 tornado in January 2023, and there is a strategic plan that has been released that has been taking recommendations from people for several weeks, and there is a draft that you can read that suggests what the city can do post-tornado. And you can go to selmanow.com and read this plan and make comments through the end of this month that could be used to refine and complete to a final draft. And this has been something that's been put together by the community. And there's been community meetings with input in person at the Performing Arts Center in September. Then they took public input online through until mid-March. So this one is kind of what came out of that. It's very similar process to what Tuscaloosa did after their April 2011 tornado, which makes suggestions when something damages a big part of the community, in this case 1,300 homes in Selma. So the thought was, what could be done to improve housing, affordable housing, and fix even years of economic neglect and come back even stronger. So you're seeing video of our before and after video that we've taken in this one section that was very residential section of Selma. And it's from beginning to 1 year to 2 years later, which would have been January of this year. So that is the strategic plan. Right now, it's not online yet. I realize we haven't put it online yet, but we have it in the print edition of the Selma Sun, and you will see it at blackbeltnewsnetwork.com very soon. Okay, so it is also 2025 is the municipal election year. So we have several candidates that have been announcing that they're running for mayor and council. And Selma has a new mayoral candidate in Aaron Roper. Tell us about Aaron.
Aaron Roper is a military veteran, 20-year veteran of the military. He was in logistics, and he enlisted at age 17. He also has a bachelor's in business management and MBA in human resources from Excelsior College. He worked for Amazon for a while in Miami, then moved to Atlanta and worked there for a while. He's actually a Selma native, graduated from Selma High School, and enlisted in the military right after that. But he has worked as the tax collector in Selma, but he's decided that he wants to be the mayor. That he has some ideas that he thinks will help. A lot of his ideas include literally going through the finances and finding out where money can be saved and where it can be more efficiently spent. Of course, having experience in the tax collector's office, that's something that he would be able to do as mayor and know what he was doing. He's got another ideas to help make government more efficient and bring economic growth to the area. He wants to have a city app.
He's not the only one running for mayor. There's actually a lot of other candidates that have thrown their hat in the ring. Although Perkins, the current mayor, has not said whether he's going to run.
Not said it yet. Yeah.
But they don't even have to qualify until June.
Not yet.
Yeah, we're going to wait and see.
We got the Harvard Spencer, School Board President Jimmy Moss III, and Tamika Sykes, Jamal Jabbar Sanders. Those are all folks that are running for mayor as well. So we got a full slate so far.
And we also have someone running for the council president position. Kennard Randolph has announced this week that he is going to go for the position that's currently held by Billy Young. And this is him. He is the executive director of Selma Housing Authority. And this is him actually presenting the house to the winner of a house that was a project with the Black Belt Community Foundation and NACA. So he helps with housing. He's been around a while. He was in my leadership class for Selma, Dallas County in 2019. So it's going to be he is the first candidate to announce the run for the president position. So we'll keep you posted on any others that have made announcements for that job.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to throw in an education story next because this is how busy we are right now. We have got, so the superintendents are playing musical chairs. And so interestingly enough, Selma's superintendent has been hired by Montgomery to run their school district, which is a combined city and county district. So it's a big, very big district. He was the superintendent for 2 years at Selma. He left in the fall, mostly saying he didn't feel like he was able to work with the board, had issues working with the board. So this is a big position for Dr. Bird to be getting, Zacchaeus Bird. And it's an interesting move. Also, Selma actually has a new superintendent, Dr. David Scott, which we are going to be meeting him soon and introducing you to him.
Yes, we will.
Also, but Montgomery has had an interesting process because the chamber actually pulled their support for the list of choices for superintendent. They were going to host some in-person get-to-know-you events of the candidates, and they didn't like any of them, including Dr. Bird, and they pulled their support. That didn't matter in the end because they hired Dr. Bird anyway. But, the chamber says they have a say and should have a say in the choice for education leaders because they are the workforce comes and works for them, and they're the business leaders of the community. So it's a kind of a challenging process for Montgomery. Let's see how Dr. Bird does over there. I know he's got a lot of best wishes from leaders over here in the Selma School District that didn't want to see him go.
Right.
All right. We have a couple of events that happened lately that we want to talk about. The Selma Cinema Festival. And this is fun because one of our correspondents, Valencia Benjamin, grabbed this video for us and also did a story for us about this. It hosted by the Foot Soldiers Park, which has been very active with a grant that they got recently. And this was the ability to see video or movies that were made by some locals. See, that's Joanne Bland right there. And honoring some of the the filmmakers. You also see that a few filmmakers were kids that got to make and show their films. The Best Buy Teen Tech Center had some winners that also showed their videos. That right there is one of the filmmakers that got, after his film ran, he got to talk about it and address the crowd. So it's a really cool event, held at Walton Theater. Thank goodness that got renovated, and is we can see these cool events that we're having there. That's the teen tech kids that won cash prizes. So
that's so cool.
That's an exciting event. Hope they do it again next year. And then we also have the Lafayette event. Last week on our newscast, we talked about the marker that was unveiled that very day on Friday of last week. But there was also, so there's the unveiling of the marker. I'm just going to show that real quick, where this French guy came and they...
Jalian Ishay.
Yeah, and they oversaw putting up this marker that's over at the St. James Hotel. You can see it behind.
And what that's marked denoting is on in April 5th of 1825, Lafayette's boat stopped at Selma, and citizens from Selma joined him on the boat for a little while and heard him speak and got to talk to him. And of course, it was that same day, a little while later, he actually went down to Cahaba, Alabama, which was the state capital at the time. That's Lafayette marching down the road. He got off the boat, and he was kind of crippled at the time. So the governor of the state helped him, and then he stood in front of a number of different arches where that actually was Henry Hitchcock speaking, and this is the mayor. He also welcomed him and gave a speech. Lafayette gave a speech and then walked over to the state capitol, the state house, and spoke to the townspeople and whatnot. And so the reenactment this past Saturday followed those same steps, did the same things. There was also some vendors and booths and displays. That's the Daughters of the American Revolution, and others were there for people to come and see the wear. There's Oklahoma had their own little booth sitting there. There's some of the folks from Oklahoma. Then we sat down at Recreation of White's Hotel, which was a posh hotel at the time. And we had 13 toasts to represent the 13 colonies that Lafayette helped fight for. And Lafayette, that was him speaking. This is Linda Derry, who actually put the whole thing together. And if you see in the background, that trailer is the Alabama Wildlife Federation's co-op cut-ups from Prattville area, who actually created a meal similar, basically the same stuff that they would have eaten back then, all locally sourced wild game and locally grown vegetables. And then we sat down and recreated and I say we because I was part of it. That's me right there, the big guy. We recreated the dinner that Lafayette would have had with the dignitaries. There was actually tickets sold in 1825. And those who could not afford tickets, there was a barbecue for them. So on premise was Uncle Clyde's barbecue. No, Hitchcock's barbecue was there. And to literally recreate the fact that if you weren't at that meal there, you could do like they did 200 years ago and go get a barbecue. So it was
really neat. That's really neat.
And there was a dance teacher there giving dance instructions, 1825 period dances. And there was a large crowd there, a bunch of dignitaries, Senator Stewart, Representative Prince Chestnut, Judge Jimmy Nunn, they were all there. Nupi Cosby was there. He was instrumental in getting this underway. It was really a fantastic experience. And again, I have such a love for Old Cahaba Archaeological Park, and to see that and that recreation done so well, it was really a lot of fun. Go check it out. Go check out Old Cahaba sometime.
All right. So there is a Selma teacher that has been named a Fulbright Scholar.
Right.
And what's really neat about Sherry Jackson is that, so she will be teaching in the Republic of Senegal as part of this Fulbright teacher exchange. She's from the Selma City Schools. She's been teaching at Clark and at R.B. Hudson. And she's a class of 2010 for Selma High. And yet really neat and that the Selma mayor, James Perkins, he actually designated her, Sherry Jackson, to be the ceremonial and promotional ambassador for the city of Selma to the Republic of Senegal during the time. So the academic school year of 2024-25 when she's going to be there. And so it'll be a really great cultural educational exchange that will be happening. And this is in a nation that's located in West Africa, Senegal. Just in case you're like, where is that again? Because I don't always remember those things either. But really exciting. We had a great story that Todd did about Sherry.
She was such a neat person to talk to. I really enjoyed that interview.
I didn't know if I had a chance to, but I applied anyway, and here she is. So really excited for Sherry Jackson, and can't wait.
And she's a science teacher too. She's all into the sciences and robotics, and she's won awards for the robotics her classes have. So, and it's going to be an interesting exchange of ideas from them to us and from us to them, and that's the whole point, to help make all our school systems better.
Yeah. All right. Now it's time for the Black Belt Roundup. First, so we've got Rooster Day is coming up Saturday in Demopolis. That's a big day, when they sold roosters in order to build a new bridge, which they did eventually get the funds for. And it's been replaced a few times since, but 1919 is when they held this Rooster Day. And I love this story. So that is coming up on Saturday. I know that there's a couple of egg hunts coming up as well. Brand has theirs. I just had emails today promoting a couple of them on the 12th. So, yes. So look at our Black Belt, the Black Belt, what's happening in the Black Belt.
Yeah.
But also, I'm going to really quick show you, we also have a new calendar. And this is another place to find out about. I didn't put the egg hunts because they're only 2 days away. But this is, it says Saturday, the 12th. If you want to know what's going on in the Black Belt, this is the most comprehensive calendar in the Black Belt. I have invested in this. I really wanted to make sure that we have a way to know. It is divided by our counties. So Perry, Dallas, Wilcox, Marengo, everybody's got their own, Montgomery as well, but also some cities, because sometimes here in the Black Belt, we say, you know what, I want to go to a rooftop bar. Well, we know we're not going to have one of those, but they have them in Tuscaloosa. Tab for Tuscaloosa, Mobile, Meridian. So based on where you are in the Black Belt, a lot of times you're like, look, I'm willing to go an hour north or an hour west. And here's it also rounds up so what's going on in the communities next to you. And this is my favorite part of the calendar, which is the service events tab. This is the only place to find out where you can get help for food distribution. This is for the senior center. We're in the process of beefing up. I have a friend that works with me who actually went and dug up all these events in a spreadsheet, and she is going to be filling this out. So soon it's going to be, a lot of them are like the third Wednesday at 10 a.m. That's going to be in this calendar forever and ever. If you're hungry, or if you need a water filter, if you have need for some activities, then you're a senior. This calendar is the how to get help link for you in the Black Belt. I purposely did this because I wanted to make sure that we have a way to connect you guys to the resources that are available in our community. We have so many great things that are provided already. And there's no one-stop shop for this online anywhere. So you can search this. You can also add your own. I want to show you real quick. You can click add event and put your own event in. All you have to do is just sign in with an email. It's not any kind of email that's going to cost you anything. It costs you nothing. But all you have to do is fill out the form, and then you can put yours in there. It costs nothing, like I said, but you can promote them. So in order to get in this top spot right here's like $15 if you want yours to scroll at the top and be seen. So
it's an event.
This is very new.
I got an event to add to it, and I just put it up on our Black Belt Outdoors page. It is coming up. My friend Rick Pipkin down in Camden, he has the Wilcox Farm and hunting supplies, and he has a special event to help raise money for the Black Belt Animal Rescue coming up. This was some of the last videos that Big Daddy did before he got sick was about Ditches to Riches and about the Wilcox Animal Rescue, because they don't have one in Wilcox County. And so these ladies are getting together to put it together, and they kind of took a little hiatus, but now they want to get it going. And so he's going to have a wild hog roundup coming up. It's not until May, but I want you to go and put it on your calendar, because come time to weigh in, which is going to be the 24th and 25th of May, you want to be able to go to Wilcox Farm and go and weigh in and be a part of it. So we're going to talk more about that when it gets closer. But just put that on your calendar, May 24, 25, the Wilcox Hog Roundup, the Wild Hog Roundup. It's going to be fun. And maybe there'll be some wild hog to eat later on, too.
Yum.
Yeah.
Now, you can also go to Black Belt Outdoors on Facebook and follow us. This is a new offering that we started before the hunting season. And you can get a lot of information there about what's going on in the Black Belt when it comes to the outdoors, fishing tournaments, weigh-ins, all of the above. We're still working toward, having a separate, we have an outdoors page at blackbeltnewsnetwork.com/outdoors. So that's where we share all of our stories about the outdoors. And it is turkey season. It's active. So we're kind of always in a season in the Black Belt.
Yeah.
So follow us, and you can also send your information to outdoors@blackbeltnewsnetwork.com.
Yeah.
If you want to write for us, send a resume. Be one of our community correspondents at news@blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. We do pay you to cover stuff for us. And we always need the help. And we've got several that have joined us to be help us extend our tentacles, as I call it, so we cover more areas of the Black Belt. And I also remind you to donate. Donate to blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. There's a red button when you go to the website in the top right-hand corner that tells you how to donate. $10 a month, that's all it takes to help us keep our content free. And to bring all this great work and add more people and staff, etc. But we could not do this without our sponsors.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Miller.
Random Miller is the best sponsor ever, and they also are best for your family if you need to make your plans for your final resting. Give a thought to this final gift to your family, and you can do planning with their advisors. And it helps your family save money. It also makes it sure it goes the way you'd like it to go and take the burden off of your family. So call them at 334-874-9081 or go to their website, randomillerfuneralservice.com. And you can encourage your favorites to be a sponsor. There we are. News@blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. Be a sponsor just like Randall Miller. And then, of course, follow us at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And I think that's covering everything for this week.
I think so.
We know it's going to be busy. Keep us posted on the things that you know that are coming up. And we will see you guys next Friday for another edition of the Black Belt Newscast.
Have a great weekend and a wonderful week.
See you then.